River. Sorry, got that wrong. Good morning, everybody. No. I've put up a great inspirational quote from Tolkien. Let's have a bit of inspiration in the room. Good morning, everybody. Okay, so I want to talk about GPTs, not ChatGPT. Because I just want to remind everybody, I mean, we're all overly obsessed with AI and machine learning and long language models. Humanity has spent quite a lot of time creating quite a lot of amazing tech. Whether we think about 300,000 years ago, the flint and fire, the wheel, which enabled us to transport goods and services and products between populations, the printing press, which is one of Oxford University's earliest spin-outs, 1586, which allowed the democratization of affordable, accessible information. Ushered in the first information age. And on it goes. Electricity, that powered the first industrial revolution. I think it's clear and fair to say today we are right in the heart of the fourth industrial revolution. And if the fourth industrial revolution is a fusion of physical, digital, biological, and compute, then this conference, you the innovators, are right in the heart of that. This conference, this technology, is one of the cradles of the fourth industrial revolution. And on it goes. I could spend the whole of my 10 minutes talking about humanity and the amazing sustainable innovations we have all developed over the years. But I want to focus a little bit on computation. As I reflected on this year's agenda, talks, posters, the last 12 months, there's been a real confluence of harnessing computational power. So to just remind everybody, back in 1985, the Cray delivered 2 million operations per second. At that time, how many people had pocket calculators? Certainly transformed my maths exams. 40% of compute was pocket calculators. Fast forward, and the rate of processing is not just exponential, it's breathtakingly exponential. In 2022, a single computer at Oak Ridge could do an exaflop. That's 1 times 10 to the 18 operations per second. And let me just put that in context for you. Does everybody know who this is? Commander Data, Star Trek: The Next Generation. That was futurologists predicting that in the 24th century, he would be able to do 60 trillion operations per second. In the 24th century. That really shows how exponential this growth has been. Today, the A100 can deliver 4,800 trillion operations per second on a PromethION. That's 80 times the processing power of Commander Data, which is supposed to be in the 24th century. But it's not just compute. It's distributed, affordable, accessible, rich information at your fingertips that's also important. In the 1940s, a certain Thomas J. Watson, founder of IBM, predicted one day there will be 5 computers in the world. 5 rings to rule the world. That was it. Yet by 1955, there were 250 computers. By the turn of the century, we had 1 million computers. That real transition from mainframe to desktop to handheld had commenced. And as we all know today, there are over 4.7 billion smartphones. All these devices providing rapid, affordable, accessible, rich insights to all of us. Okay, for those of you who don't know, I am a Tottenham fan, and they are in the final of the Europa League. So I had to get Europa into this talk somehow. And this is Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. This is what happens when orthogonal texts crash together. This is spaceflight and a very simple camera, JunoCam. And what we're looking at are the intricate details of the canals on that moon, sorry, not planet, on that moon. And it shows the tectonic shifts and mechanics of what's happening to that moon. Now, this image was processed on the JunoCam. It's a very simple camera. The data was given to the scientific community. The community have brought together a much better understanding of this intricate detail on Europa. The point I want to make here is NASA's Voyager and Galileo missed this. And this was not done on a Hubble telescope. I often talk about the fact that there's more compute in a washing machine than there was to put a man on the moon. When I pored over the agenda, there are so many orthogonal applications that you have been innovating with. And it's that confluence of convergence of biology and computational data. That is coming together. There is, in the last 6 months alone, I've seen multiple machine learning AI in silico plays coming to us and radically transforming breakthroughs in molecular biology. There is clearly a symbiotic relationship between multiomics, computational power, which is accelerating discovery. And that's what we're seeing, and that's why we're all here today, turning it into rapid point-of-care applications. For those of you who were up at 10 to 7 this morning, you will have heard Matt Luce's interoperative tumor classification in real time. Now, this computational power is not just important in helping you to make breakthroughs with the richness of data, it is allowing us to take this indescribably rich signal that Nanopore produces and read it directly, read the native DNA, not using light as a surrogate marker. We see that biology in full color and high definition. What we don't do, which is what the other lot do, is take our beautifully rich DNA, RNA, and proteomics soon, and dumb it down into 4 or 5 bases and put it through a nanopore. We do not do that because we believe this richness of content is going to change everything. We provide both panoramic T2T genomes now. You are doing that on a routine basis, and yet intricate DNA RNA modifications, and you'll hear more from Rosemary and Lakmal on the work we've been doing on that. The insights have always been there. I remember one of the first traces Clive showed at a board meeting on Phi-X. He used overhead transparencies. People remember those? And he just showed the same trace time and time again. He had 10 copies, and they were identical. So we've always known the signal is in there. We are now using that computational power, harnessing machine learning AI to really give unparalleled accuracies and complete genomes. And you, the innovators in this room, online, are starting to make a real dent in some of the grand challenges that we face. A couple of stats to frighten us all, inspire us all, make us innovate faster. By 2050, there'll be 10 billion in population, 2 billion will be over 60. We will have to feed all of these people. AMR, antimicrobial resistance, will be a bigger killer than cancer. And I can't even start to think about what's going to happen with the environmental challenges, the rate at which we are removing the biodiversity by 2050. But you guys are really making a dent and really removing barriers. when we think about the barrier of incomplete draft genomes. T to T is now routinely available. You're doing that. There is now no barrier to have a complete and comprehensive genome. Accessibility. One of the favorite projects for me this year is the work across Africa, Central Asia, and Southeast Africa for affordable, accessible cancer diagnosis led by St. Jude's Hospital, bringing cancer diagnostics to a broader community. I mentioned interoperative screening in real time, Matt Luce's work as well. Waiting, the barrier of waiting. I mentioned AMR as one of our grand challenges. Over the last couple of years at Guy's and St. Thomas's, we've been working with them to have a same-day AMR profiling. That is now going to be rolled out across 30 NHS trusts. So we are seeing rapid, real-time insights in acute and critical care. Okay. It's 10 years on. This community, when we first brought the first London Calling together, there was a band of brave people. It's nice to see Nick Lohman here today. And the idea was to create that connectivity. And you know, it's beyond my wildest imagination how this has grown. But we have grown. And I always like to say, every year, it feels like the bus is only getting faster. The momentum, the innovation, the breakthroughs that you are providing. The network inside this room and outside this room has spread globally, beyond scientific research into industries, governments, and charities. We, as innovators of the platform, are humbled to be part of your journey. I'm privileged to be part of your journey, because as we think about this as an enabling fourth industrial revolution technology, you are the people who are really enabling game-changing applications. But we're not resting on our laurels. We can also take advantage, and we are, of this phenomenal shift in computational power, in machine learning AI. Motors and nanopores that used to take months and months to produce 5 or 10 constructs, we can make hundreds and thousands in that same period. We're really accelerating our ability to apply machine learning AI to get ever more intricate detail out of the signals. So our use of the power of computation is designed to enable you to do all the work you strive to do. Now, I went to India about a month ago, and it's always inspiring to go to India. It really describes the indomitable spirit of humanity. But the pace and rate at which India is adopting nanopore is quite breathtaking. As are the people in this room, the people online. Now, we are somewhere on this journey. I'm not going to say where I think we are. Over the next 2 days, you can all judge where you think we are. And I'd like to welcome you all to London Calling and keep up the unbelievable, phenomenal work. Welcome.
Thank you, Gordon. Hello and welcome to London Calling 2025. It's really wonderful to see so many people here in London and to welcome our online delegates from over 120 countries. We really do have an amazing lineup of speakers for you over the next 2 days. And your presence here, whether in person or virtually, truly embodies the spirit of this conference, one community, driven by discovery and united by a shared passion for open science and the pursuit of knowledge. The future of genomics is shaped by each and every one of you. First of all, we'd like to celebrate the amazing work of the community. You are the ones that are driving discovery. We now have over 14,000 peer-reviewed publications utilizing Oxford Nanopore sequencing. Wow, you really have been very busy. There are far too many to call out, but a selection include publications on resolving rare diseases. We know that less than 50% of individuals with rare conditions receive a genetic diagnosis. Devastatingly, 30% of children with a rare disease die before their 5th birthday. In the last year, several independent studies have been published showing how Oxford Nanopore sequencing could identify rare disease variants that were previously undetected by other sequencing technologies. Tomorrow, in Sebastian Lunk's plenary talk, and also in the panel plenary session, you will hear the latest research on resolving these diagnostic conundrums. We've seen a number of publications on rapid CNS tumor classification, and there's a real need for rapid but comprehensive tumor analysis. Interoperative reporting of methylation classification and CNVs can provide information crucial for surgical decisions to improve patient outcomes. 2 publications in Nature Medicine earlier this year showcased how nanopore sequencing data could be used to rapidly classify CNS tumors. And do take a look at Matt Luce's paper that's been published today on this very subject. This year, we have a dedicated breakout on solid tumor research where speakers will share their work to enable rapid, comprehensive classification of CNS tumors using Oxford Nanopore. With population genomics, there is a need to identify a broader spectrum of variants so we can improve our understanding of human variation. We've seen a few notable publications this year that provide extensive data into variants beyond SNVs. The importance of characterizing structural variants and methylation is now widely understood. And in a few moments, you'll hear more on this in our opening plenary from NIHR Bioresource, with further insight shared in the Precision Genomics Showcase session later today. We know that antimicrobial resistance poses a significant global health challenge and requires accurate and rapid bacterial classification to improve patient outcomes and reduce antibiotic misuse. This year, we saw a paper from a group that used 16S RNA nanopore sequencing on samples from 7 NHS hospitals showing superior performance compared to traditional methods. Our opening talk tomorrow from Judith Brewer explores how metagenomic nanopore sequencing could be incorporated into routine healthcare. So as you may know, our vision is to enable the analysis of anything by anyone, anywhere. Through you, the nanopore community, and your dedication and collaboration, this technology has matured and scaled, and is expanding into areas beyond research. We will continue to innovate, and you'll hear more about this in the tech update later today with Rosemary and Atmal.